Hey folks, this is the WooFDriver coming to you live from inside the dog bus. We got a special show.
Stop over from the beginning. Or right
This is Friday the 13th, as you're probably aware, and there's probably a lot of paranormal experiences to be had, for lack of a better term. What the situation is this evening, we've been planning for a trip on this day for the week or so. We're going to an area on the C&O Canal where supposedly there's a haunted house. We're going to find out. It is abandoned. We've got quite a crew with us this evening, and we're going to have fun. Of course, the Wolfpack's here. Everybody in good form, for better or for worse. So
I'm scared.
Okay, that's the Shaw man. He's driving. He's scared, so that's not a good place to start. I'm your fearless leader, so leave it all to me. I look a little red now. That's not special effects. That's actually the brake lights in front of me. We are headed out, as I said, to the C&O Canal Towpath Trail, which is C&O, if you're not familiar with it, straddles a canal that was built in the late 1700s, early 1800s. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. And on the other side of it is the Potomac River. We're scheduling about 15 miles. Lots of Civil War history, lots of American history there, so you never know what might be lurking. We've ridden this trail before, some of it in the evening, so this should be an adventure to say the least. We'll probably be getting there. It's 8:15 right now. Could be probably on the trail around 10 o'clock this evening, maybe a little later. So this is an official midnight Mushing run. And lots of fun. The dogs are truly amped up. The weather, I don't know if you've been listening to me for the week, the weather's been really kind of overcast and gloomy all week. We got a couple breaks of sun. That's when I went free ranging the other day. And we'll go in the rain, but we're always trying to look for the nicer weather if we can. So tonight, it looks like it's going to be in the high 50s to low 60s. The clouds have given way. It's actually supposed to be a good weekend. Figured the Wolfpack will be amped up. We're amped up. We're ready to discover ghost dogs or whatever else might be lurking out there, and a lot of characters on board to keep you keep you interested. Okay, don't have an accident. You did grab the broadcast box I handed you, correct? Broadcast phones.
Every box you gave me is in here.
So that's it right now. If you're not a member already, please join in on WooFDriver Unleashed, because I hope to do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that really tells about how we make all this happen. It's pretty impressive and a lot of fun and a lot to be explained, really. So I hope you're hanging with us, and I know Cheryl's looking forward to it. You said it. Cool. Yeah, it's definitely, this is, what we do is blazing new trails, for lack of a better term, especially when we go out in the evening. A lot more coordination needs to take place, as you can imagine, and when we try to do a haunted run like we are tonight, there's a lot of detail and a lot of work that goes into it. By the way, we fixed our audio, so we hope to have a good audio portion for you where you'll be able to get commentary from me as well as the cameraman. Remember, the cameraman is shining the camera on me, so it's hard for me to talk into there, but I'm gonna have a headset on me, so I'll be able to come right back at you. And it's a great place to ask questions, comments, concerns, or just look for ghosts. This one particular house, there's been all kinds of sightings, and we figure if there's anything that's going to happen, it's going to happen on Friday the 13th. Actually, we're going to have a special guest appearance. One of the WooFDriver Pit Crew team members is going to join us, one of their wives, Chris P. She's pretty anxious to see this house because it's pretty historic in this parts of the East Coast. So what we'll do is, I think we're going to end there, or we're going to do our run, start somewhere around there, and then maybe drive there later. So there might be a couple different portions of the show tonight. So please stay tuned. And again, if you're not a member, go to WooFDriver Unleashed, and you'll get a real breakdown. You'll get all the details and all the information. I'm coming a little dark, a little light to you, in and out, because we're riding in and out of the clouds right now. Again, I'm in the dog bus. The sun is starting to set here. We're getting into twilight hours. By the time we get to the trail, it will be pitch black, and it will will be full of excitement. That I can guarantee you. Also, in case you haven't been on these journeys with us before, we do occasionally run into nocturnal life, which is pretty cool. Anywhere from owls to porcupines. We've come big black cats. Well, it was a cat. We're not sure if it was a panther, a mountain cat, or just a house cat, as Sean said. But it was
a big,
big cat. That's what he says. So you can go to any of my websites, by the way, all Woof, WOOF.com. Quite an impressive setup that I have. Been working on this for 20 years plus. So these websites hold all the information and all the details of what I've done.
Institutional knowledge.
Woofatution, we call it.
Institutional knowledge.
If you, by the way, a little earlier today, I was giving a tour of one of the vehicles we use, which is the rough board, I call it. So what that is basically a dog scooter that was custom modified, of course, what I do with most of the equipment, and it's pretty cool. And I'm getting ready to, haven't used it as much lately. What it's for is usually for neighborhood runs, because it's real small to keep and real great for the street and the neighborhood. So it's easy to have pretty much in my garage, and I can pull it out at any time. Whereas these bikes are quite they take quite a crew to get them going because of how elaborate they are. But the rough board, I'm pulling it out because I'm going to be training our little Chinese Crested, who's about 7 pounds. She's a puppy. She's roughly 6 months old.
She's adorable.
She is adorable. And she's going to learn to run on that because she's got a lot of endless energy, kind of like the Husky. That'll probably wear out on her because the breed is not near as high strung as the Huskies are. But while she's got that energy, I'm going to try to engage her in some of these sports on a much more limited level, of course, than the Huskies, and see how she handles it, how she responds to it, and possibly run her in some configurations with the big dogs. So again, that's going to be interesting as well. Stay tuned for that.
On Zorro's back.
On Zorro's back, yeah. Zorro, we call him the Gentle Giant. He's absolutely fantastic with almost any other dog we put him with. So we had another Chinese Crested, another little toy breed, and she was awesome. She would go to the Macing Chase course with us. She wasn't quite as physical as Gigi is, our latest family edition, but she loved to chase the flag. So we would take her there, and Zorro and her, I don't know if you saw it, but we run some contests and want to get everyone posting pictures of their dogs on the page, and it had her and Zorro running nose to nose. I mean, it was like a photo finish of a horse race. Really a cool picture, chasing the flag. So Zorro works awesome with the other dogs. The other thing I wanted to keep you in touch with is that we're going to be doing some really interesting live broadcasts. Live broadcast is the latest thing on Facebook. I feel like it's a great way for everybody to... Sorry, I lost the signal there. I feel like it's a great way for everyone to network together. So what we're doing is... Deborah, that's right. Friday the 13th and a full moon. You are right. And we are, we're being a little, I guess you could call it adventurous, like we usually
scared.
are. So what we're going to do is, as I said, what you're going to see on the channel, yep, please tune in. I said around 10 to 10:30 this evening, we will be doing the live broadcast. As long as we have signal, I can't control that. But other live broadcasts to be on the lookout for are really cool because they're going to include how we make the music. We're going to have David Antonio Saylor. He's going to actually do live broadcast of him making the latest WooFDriver parody, as well as the Woof girl, she calls herself Britt. And Britt has been involved with animals and dogs and broadcasting for many years, and she's going to go live with us on this channel, the WooFDriver channel, probably in the upcoming week, and she's going to give you all kinds of dog-related news, fun stories, everything. She'll be live so she can take questions, comments, etc. But again, if you're just joining us, we're headed out to the C&O Canal on Friday the 13th with a full moon and a wild and crazy crew, besides the wolf pack. And we're going to a haunted house there. We're going to do about a 15-mile run, of course, with the wolf pack. We're going to have 2 bikes out there tonight, so you'll be able to get different views of me than you normally get. Normally the camera's stationary. It's on a rotating device. Tonight, I think we might have done it last time too. Somebody's going to be filming me.
Me.
That's Shawman. It's going to be filming me, so you're going to get to pick up on that. Plus, we're both going to be mic'd up, so we can have interaction with you, the audience, and with anything that might show up on the trail. Anything nocturnal wildlife.
You hear me scream like a girl when I see a ghost.
So you're going to hear all kinds of crazy stuff out there. But right now, again, I'm in the dog bus. We've got another one of the vehicles, the big white truck. The four-wheel drive vehicle is ahead of me. We've got 4 pit crew members here. We're waiting on 2 more that'll meet us down at the trail, and we're game for pretty much anything that may come our way, and most importantly to get the dogs a good run in, which they've been amped up for this. If you kept up with us, we did 5 miles yesterday on a free ranging run on the big farm, and we did, I'm gonna say 15 miles on Monday along the Susquehanna River, which is a WooFDriver tour during the day, which was a great run, a new trail. If you saw, we broke the latest bike that we have. The right now we call it the tractor trailer. It's just so narrow and long. It's like turning a tractor trailer when you got to turn around. But we actually don't have reverse. So what we have to do is, I've taught the dogs reverse. They understand that. But what we have to do is back up, and that's manual, as I said, into a lot of places because we can't make the wide enough turns because a lot of these trails are narrow and most people aren't riding like a 12-foot long dog bike. So any questions you may have, please shoot them at me now. We're riding along. We're probably going to make our first stop and fuel up, probably get some Mickey D's. And we're eating right. I'm making sure everybody's well nurtured. The dogs, on a day like today, I won't feed the dogs. In nature, a lot of times I used to fast my dogs once a week. It's actually good for the digestive system, and I'm doing that. He's going to 70. I do that on occasions like this because don't want food to play, and they're used to eating at night, and we're running at night, and don't want any kind of bloat. That is a big possibility. My one dog, if you follow me, Princess, she takes a medication for thyroid, hyperactive thyroid, so I'll give her that, but that doesn't need to be taken with food, and that's how I handle them. Now, we'll probably get home, believe it or not, at the crack of dawn, hopefully not too much later than that. So they'll eat in the morning. They'll eat early in the morning when we get home, whatever time that may be, and then they'll eat again their normal time in the evening. I feed them once a day. I find that's the best schedule for them. So that's how that goes down with feeding and doing these late night runs. I've done these night runs for the past probably, well, I've run in the night, not this late, but I've run in the night for probably 20 years now. But getting out there late at night like this is just started probably within the past 5 years. So I'm all ears if you've got any questions. Again, I'm your host, the WooFDriver. We've got a great following here on Facebook. I know people from all over the world tune in to see me run the Huskies and do the different activities I do with the dogs. And I love giving you different views and taking you on adventures with me. We do these adventures all over the East Coast, centralized out of Maryland, but we've traveled as far as Cape Cod, Massachusetts. We've done the Cape Cod Rail Trail, and we've gone to pretty far points south in Virginia. We haven't touched in North Carolina yet. That's on our list to do, hopefully sometime in the near future, and hopefully make it to other parts of the country as time and funds permit. So hope you're enjoying this little introduction here for this evening's adventure. We're really excited. We've gone out on Halloween before and other scary evenings. Dogs actually, to be quite frank, prefer to run at night. I've always had better success for them to engage more. They're more apt to pull, believe it or not. This is what I find. And a typical musher, a professional musher in colder climates that's doing it in the heart of winter, they'll mush in the night too. Especially, I don't know if you're familiar with the Iditarod. I'm not a professional musher, but the Iditarod, they'll mush through the night. So all depends what the situation is, how things are going, etc. But love to answer any questions you may have. Again, we'll have a couple mics on tonight. We'll have the night vision going because that's the only way you'll be able to see us. In case you're not familiar, we actually broadcast with a night vision camera. It's really a scope that the military uses, something like a binocular that you would, it's monocular though, that you put over one eye and you look in the distance for whatever you're looking for. Usually what shows up are other animals or other living creatures, so you can see them fairly clearly with this night vision system. But it all looks either black and white or green and white, depending on the scope you're using, and that'll all depend. But that's what the military uses, and that's, I don't know how familiar you are, but with the military, that's one of our big benefits, because we have, the United States has such advanced night vision capabilities, and all this equipment is pretty specialized, and when you buy it, you enter into a license that you're not supposed to sell it outside of the United States. And this equipment I'm using is Generation 3, which is some of the most advanced equipment. I mean, I know the military has some more advanced equipment that you couldn't buy, but this is professional equipment, but available on the consumer market inside of the United States. So we use IR lighting to help even amplify that further and see further into the darkness. So you'll notice, you might see trees and different unusual things out there that you wouldn't maybe recognize in broad daylight. It's pretty interesting. But also we have some video and cameras that can take pictures and video record at night. So pretty interesting too. Again, all my websites, I document almost everything I do, probably a little too extensively, but I do it because I want to, first of all, have all these as memories. So when I'm not able to do this anymore, I can look back and say, wow, that was pretty cool stuff, as well as share with everybody and know that there's so many different capacities and ways your dog can be your best friend. Your dog's your best friend no matter what, of course, but you can engage in some of this extracurricular stuff almost any way you can involve your dog, is what I'm trying to say. So if you look back, we've done concert rides where we've had a musician in the back of one of these specialized dog carts. I love music, and of course I love the dogs, and so what a great way to get to mingle the two together. So if I like something, I say, how can I get my dogs involved in this with me? Because I want them to be there every step of the way, because it's pretty cool. So narrating this evening again will be that guy, the Shaw man, the driver now, and I'm putting myself in his hands now. But he'll put us in other hands. Good move, Shaw. He'll put us in. I'll put him in my hands when I'm driving with the dogs. So that's it. Any other questions? Please shoot them at me. Comments, concerns, how we do this. You know, anything dog related. I know in WooFDriver Unleashed, a couple questions I have not responded to yet. I just unfortunately haven't had the time. By the way, besides myself, I'm hoping to, in WooFDriver Inspire, have another professional dog trainer that's going to help me answer some of the questions I just can't respond to. I just don't have the time to. And he'll be able to possibly address some of the other questions, because we want to help everybody in every capacity we can. I know people have different issues with dogs, and I certainly have had mine, and I've worked through them through a myriad of techniques and philosophies and approaches. And I was trained by a master dog trainer who trained protection dogs. It's called Schützen, and he's trained them. Schützen is German, and it's a protection way of training dogs that they use in police and military. So you might hear me sometimes give some of my commands, and I was taught them in German, and that's the way I communicate them to the dogs. Reason being, because the dogs won't get caught off. If someone says one of my other commands by accident in English, the dogs are less likely to respond to them as they will in the German command. So that's why we do that. And that's why the police, military do that too. I guess unless they're over in Germany, maybe they use English. It's kind of twilight right now, my favorite time of day. So the sun is set and the night sky is starting to light up. I haven't seen the moon yet, but we're told this should be a full moon. So that should add to the excitement. You can go, by the way, And I tell you about all these websites. I don't make any money with them. I do this, like I said, strictly for pleasure. You will see some ads on them. What we're trying to do is start a dog fund. It's called Dog BFF, Dog Best Friend Forever. And we're trying to put a way for people to help others fund dogs in need. So if a dog would need some kind of medical procedure or surgery or whatever, we're trying to help or be a vehicle to facilitate the person that needs it getting the money they would need to get whatever they may need done for their dog. So some of the advertisement and revenue that I create, I'm going to be able to donate towards that. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And as we get that going, I hope to have some people that I know and businesses sponsor me in some capacity as we do our runs, per mile, whatever. So that's more money that can be donated to that. And if anybody's out there that does have a dog in need, I know this is similar to GoFundMe, but this is going to be very specialized, and I'm pretty much going to run it all, my team. So we'll be able to address everybody on a more individualized basis. That should happen within the next month. But that's why you may see some advertisements on the sites, because any money they would produce, we would be able to give that to the Dog BFF Fund. But if you go to the website called werewolves.com, W-E-R-E Wolves, the way I spell it, W-O-O-F-S, you'll see that's kind of the haunted site. That's about the runs we do at night. And also it goes further and explores ghost towns all over the United States, as well as other ghost trails. Many we haven't been to, of course, but wanted to share them and wanted it to be a little bit of an aspiration for myself and my team and the Wolfpack to maybe make it there. They're all over, from Nevada to Utah to Colorado, and even in the area where we're at now. So the area we're at now, we will make it to all of them that are worthwhile going to. So that's interesting, and we've got a wonderful writer on there, and he's under the After Midnight section, and he writes some pretty haunted, enchanted stories. Not all of them involve dogs, but he did one in particular. You'll see it on there. The name escapes my mind now, but it's all about dogs and bears and all kinds of wild stuff. So if you go to werewolves.com, I think you'll be pretty entertained. And I'm sure what we do this evening will wind up on werewolves.com. So look forward to posting that there. Just feels like another notch in my belt, and again, just another memory etched. So I'm looking for some questions. Okay, who's got a question?
How many people you got watching?
What's that?
How many people you got watching?
I got about 20 people. So right now, just so you know, we're passing the Howard County Fairgrounds, and we're on Route 70. And I don't have it enabled tonight, but I hope that in the future where you can follow along with us as we're on the trail and know the exact coordinates. And then if you would go to Google Maps or Google Earth, you'd be able to see exactly where we are at, a satellite view. Of course, you wouldn't get us in the view because whenever that picture was taken, but you wouldn't need us in the view because you'll have us on the live broadcast. Pretty interesting. Pretty cool. In case you can't tell, we get a little geekified here with all this technology, but it's pretty fantastic. And again, all this technology has enabled me to do what I do with the dogs, because as I free range and using an electric ATV, that's a pretty technologically advanced machine because it is electric. So it's run by car batteries, basically. No gas motor, which means very little pollution and very little noise pollution. So it's pretty green, as well as I can talk all over it and I can hear over it because the wolf pack or other animals or other people were around to be able to hear them, as well as give the dogs commands. So technology plays a big part in everything we do, just like everybody, but we're really to the nth degree and pushing the envelope in many ways to make what we're happening here, we're pushing the envelope. So that's it right now from the dog bus. That's the situation we're at, and we're going to be on the trail again, probably in the 10 to 10:30 range. I'll keep you posted. Hopefully on WooFDriver Unleashed we'll do some behind the scenes footage of us getting ready. And again, this is going to be at night, so it's going to look a little eerie, and I'm sure it'll be a little eerie. What's really wild is when you get on this particular trail, it has a lot of owls, and they start making that call. Don't know if you've ever heard it. Yeah, it's pretty intense, and we get them right near us. We actually caught on tape last time a great horned owl. So you might be a little entertained or a little enchanted, whatever you want to say, if you hear that. It's pretty bizarre because we'll be in the stillness of the night and just the footsteps of the dogs going, and maybe the panting breath, and all of a sudden you'll hear woo, 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 really loud. And it's a mating call with the owls. So if you can emulate that, a lot of times you can get the owls to come closer to you. So Rhett, our outdoorsman, he's pretty good at it. Actually, I can't tell the between the owl and him. So it's pretty entertaining, to say the least. And it hopefully tonight will call some over to us so we can maybe get that. At least if we can't get it on the live broadcast, I'll capture it on the video and be able to share it with you over the weekend. So that's the situation as we are now. I'm the WooFDriver. I'm your host. I look forward to seeing you out on the trail this evening. Again, it is Friday the 13th, and we got a very special broadcast planned for this evening. I look forward to seeing you soon. I'm signing off now and hope to check back in within the next 2 hours. So please keep it right here on the WooFDriver Facebook feed. WooFDriver's out.